Hello, beautiful people. So today I was told to make dinner for the household, and I felt like I needed a nap before I decided to do this. The nap was not the way to go because I was tired throughout this whole thing. But starting off, I felt so good. I was ready. I was, doing my thing, doing this with my eyes closed basically. So we added some salt, some pepper, some garlic powder. And I'm at my mom's house, so there's not much here. She decided to stop cooking once I left. So I found some adobo. We always have adobo in the house, so that was a lifesaver. Found some chicken seasoning. She decided to stop cooking once I left the house. So, it was definitely a hard knock life for me when I was trying to cook. So we found some paprika as well to try and make the chicken a little browner on top, try and even out its skin tone and make it all nice and good and crispy and yum, yum, yum. But we're gonna see at the end how that didn't really work out. But I'm gonna let you see. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. So then I decided to throw the seasoning into the middle. I didn't think this through when I was putting this in here because I don't know. I wasn't thinking. I was tired. I just woke up. Let's keep that in mind. I just woke up. So we're going to give our little chicken a little massage. I just got one and it was amazing. So, this little chicken probably felt amazing after this wonderful seasoning massage. And I knew in my heart of hearts that this was just going to be the bestest chicken I have ever made. It was not. But again, I'm not going to spoil this for you. We are going to live through this together. So up its booty, around its legs. Get it all. So then I moved on to the Brussels sprouts, and honestly, throughout this entire video making process, it is unacceptable how much I was about to cut off my finger with the dull knife that she had here. But I washed the Brussels sprouts, went to some lemon peel, chopped it up because we're going to add that to the Brussels sprouts, and I ended up adding the rest of it to the top. Ooh, my jam came on there, so I had to dance it out a bit, get the blood flowing, because again, still very tired. Again, unacceptable how often I was about to cut my fingers off. But we're not going to show you that because then I'd have to put like warnings and viewer discretions and everything, so no need to do that. We went ahead, threw them into the pan. You had to flip them over, and if you can see here, I struggled a bit of a lot by flipping them back over. But you want to flip them over to try and get some color onto them. I threw some salt and pepper. I decided not to video the rest of my struggles. And we just let them cook a bit. Okay, so I will admit I did walk away. And they got a little burnt. But we went ahead and threw in the lemon peel. I found some onion granules. This is when I started to get a little bit antsy because they weren't home yet and they had the gnocchi that I needed to cook. So I started getting antsy. And when I get antsy, I start adding things. So I found an onion. And I was like, you know what? Might as well add an onion. Chopped up an onion. Almost cut off my finger there, but video's moving fast enough. You don't see that. Threw them into a pan and let them cook a bit. Wanted to get some caramelized onions to throw into the Brussels sprouts. And they still weren't home. So I decided to add a garlic. On top of the fact, this stove does not heat up at all. Like at all. It takes forever and a day. I grew old waiting for the stove to heat up. But look at me like mincing this garlic. I was so proud of myself because I usually do this so horribly, but I figured it out. I did it. So here's the final product. I messed up this video, so you're gonna have it in slow motion. We're gonna make it all romantic. Okay, now back to the chicken. I didn't have any butter, so I had to wait for them to get home with the groceries and the butter. So we're back to the chicken. We went ahead and cut this up. I didn't really think it through when I decided to touch the chicken because then I was like, I can't really go back and touch the butter. So I asked my auntie to put the butter on there for me. She doesn't cook, so I had to talk her through that. But we figured it out. Put it in the oven. I basted it maybe 3 to 4 times while it was in there. I started getting a little impatient because of the fact that I didn't have the butter earlier, so I wasn't able to cook it earlier and didn't give it the time that it needed, so it didn't get the crispiness that it needed. But again, here we go. You are seeing, I decided to change the font. I decided to change the color on it because this poor chicken died twice in the making of this video. It died twice. This knife is so dull. And right after I did that half to the middle, I gave up. I absolutely gave up, and I just started hacking away at this poor chicken. Like, the knife could not even cut through the little string. It took me like pulling it apart. So I did a little consult with my mom because I was honestly over it. I was over it. And we decided to just throw the chicken back in. You are going to see how horrid this chicken came out, but it still tasted really good. The seasonings, it works really well. Just give it the time that it needs in the oven, guys. Give it the time. Learn from my mistakes, guys. Oh my goodness. I was over it at this point. But we're pushing through. We are pushing through. I threw them back in the oven, and then I decided to start cooking the gnocchi. So I got some half-frozen gnocchi, and I just had to throw them in. I just threw them in the pan, put some butter in there. I tried to lay them as flat as I could, but again, I was over it by this point. Don't get me wrong, this meal turned out tasting amazing, but I was over it at this point. Covered them, left them, called it a day. So I decided to clean up after myself a little bit, grabbed the gnocchi, put the Brussels sprouts on top, and mixed it through. So to get over my pain of how amazing this dish was going, I got a nice little pretty plate to try and make it all nice and pretty for the people that will be eating this so that they don't see what I had to see while I was making this. And here is the wonderful chicken that I butchered. Oh my god, guys, please cover your eyes. Like, warning, 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 viewer discretion advised. This is, oh my god, I am so embarrassed. But juices, pour the juices over it. Pour the butter. It makes it so much better. I threw in the extra lemon peel that I had and some Parmesan and called it a day. I hope you enjoy. I hope you make it correctly, learn from my mistakes, and bye, guys!